Hello, Martin here, and welcome back to some more Higurashi When They Cry. This is the fourth chapter. Now some things to mention before I actually start. I'm still using my own mix for the music, with some mix between the old and the new stuff. And secondly, the mod pack which I'm using, which you can follow the link in the description if you want, which does the like voice pack and stuff, and some graphics changes as well. They've had an update, and even if you don't want the voice pack or the graphics changes, you can, and you prefer the old game, it allows you to switch back to the old music and sound files if you want to. So, yeah, if you want, have a look into that. And without any further ado, let's see what this will be about. Himatsubushi. For you, the final mystery. Time-killing chapter. I now entrusted you with all the mysteries hidden within Higurashi When They Cry. However comical it may be, if you have reached any conjecture, then you have passed. This final novel is a meager reward for you. Conjecture is impossible. You have the right to reject this story. Okay, that sounds promising. Hmm. I so the difficulty's just been increasing each time? Kind of? Actually, no, they said the second one wasn't as difficult as the first one, that's true. Oh well. Let's continue. Come on. There we go. Who is the criminal, you ask? Don't we search for him in this story? Who is the criminal, you ask? Do you even know what the criminal did? Who is the criminal? Who is the criminal who will kill me now? By Frederica Berncastel, depicting him as already a good guy, something. Midsummer 1985. Huh, that's interesting. Pretty sure all the other ones are 83. Huh. I'd misled the time and ended up arriving too early. The schedule board flipped with a series of clacks. My flight to Sapporo was still a bit later on. I still had over an hour before boarding. Well, might as well close my eyes for a bit on that bench over there then. I came here directly from work, so maybe the fatigue from that was making me sleepy. So who is this? I wonder. Finding a suitable bench, I put my luggage on the seat next to me and settled down. Who's Akasaka? Maybe this is just a prologue character. Maybe we'll find out more about him. I sighed like an old man. I'd hoped to stay young forever, don't we all? But it's become splendidly middle-aged. Apparently the rumour that even people in the latter half of their 20s experience a decline of their physical strength wasn't a lie. Oh dear. That doesn't sound good. It had been mind-numbingly busy at work today, work lately, so I rarely had any time to myself. This might have been the first time I'd been able to enjoy a journey alone like this since I was a student. The reason behind this trip was to meet an old friend. It was a bit strange to call him an old friend. In fact, it might be better to call him a bad one. After retiring a couple of years ago, he moved to Sapporo, his mother's hometown. His mother passed away soon after, and he was now peacefully enjoying his second lease on life. His name was Kurado Oishi. Aha! He was a former detective from the Primary Investigation Unit at the station in Okinomiya, XX Prefecture. So yeah, that does sound like a bad friend if his friend was Oishi. To be honest, the only direct contact we'd ever had didn't last more than 3 days. After that, we exchanged New Year's cards, but never met again. Oh dear. So this would be the first time meeting him in 7 years. Which would be about when the murder starts. And he hasn't seen him since then. So, maybe we can find out something about that from him? In other words, we met 7 years ago. Really? In 1978. There was something I just had to ask, to talk about to him about concerning that time. To explain that, it was impossible not to recall the incident that happened back then. That kidnapping, the details and resolution of which were resigned to darkness. Also, it was impossible not to recall a certain mysterious girl. So, kidnapping. What? I don't remember any kidnapping. And mysterious girl? Who knows? My name is Mamoru Akasaka. It was the year that had been strangely hot, even though it was only June. Early summer, 1978. In a classroom. Different classroom, I notice.
はい、さようなら。車に気をつけるんですよ。お友達の家に寄り道なんかしないように。明日の教科書の準備は必ず寝る前にしておくんですよ。はい、さようなら。車に気をつけるんですよ。お友達の家に寄り道なんかしないように。
So that's a new feature. You can click on... Oh, because, yeah, that wasn't said. But you can click on stuff which has been said. Huh. But I wonder why he's saying don't drop in a friend's house along the way. It reminds me of what the teacher kind of said around the Wasanagashi festival, or afterwards, I think, in chapter 3 and maybe chapter 2 too. Actually, probably chapter 2, yeah. Clatter. The lively sounds of children running towards the hallway.
ってさ、つってんだぜ。
そんなの俺持ってるわよ。いらねえよ。
The unique high-pitched voice of youth. The energetic shrills of the cicadas went completely unheard by their ears. Children returning home from school split off one by one from their groups of friends as they went through intersections of the residential area. Even though there were several of them in a group as they left the school, as they got closer to their homes, their numbers dwindled. That's why the few friends you're walking home with act as an indicator that you are that much closer to your destination.
じゃあな。あばよ。
また明日ね。
He finally parted ways with his last friend. I'm guessing this is kidnapping. A van was parked at a bend in the road. If they're mentioning that, then it's probably a kidnapping. The window was open, the sound of radio leaking outside. It must have been the news or something.
たため、道路交通法違反、公務執行妨害で3名を逮捕しました。一連の日並沢ダム建設反対をめぐる運動は、先月の機動隊との流血事件を境に過激化の一途をたどっており、警察では過激な活動家による次の事件を警戒しています。
Oh, that's right. The kidnapping of the it's someone's someone high up in government's son was kidnapped, wasn't he?
先週も建設省庁舎前での犬飼建設大臣への直訴事件があったばかりで。
That's right. At that moment, a man's face peeked out suddenly from the window of the van. His behaviour was a little different than that of a man looking around to see if there was any incoming traffic before he opened the door of his vehicle. His eyes meeting suddenly with the unfamiliar man, the boy panicked slightly.
ウグイス OK。
ひばり OK。前後2ブロック確保した。いいぞ。
The man in the passenger seat whispered quietly. Nodding in acknowledgement, the man opened the door and stood before the boy.
君、犬飼俊樹君？
While asking that, the man peered at the boy's name tag. Toshiki Inugai. The name was written plainly there. The phone rang for the third time. If he reached out, he could easily pick up the receiver. However, he was concerned that if he picked it up before it had even finished ringing once, whoever was on the other end of the line would think of him as a fairly cheap person. That's why he normally never picked up the phone until the third ring. This is probably the minister. Nope. Even he thought it was a worthless habit. However, his thinking that there isn't much meaning in waiting for just 3 rings, wouldn't waiting for 5 be alright, was very much a reality. His mind filled with such trifling thoughts, he picked up the phone after the third ring had finished, its reverb dampened by his action.
はい。もしもし。もしもし。
He knew that sometimes due to a malfunction at the switchboard, calls didn't connect well. At those times, it was best to hang up and let the person on the other end call again. Thinking that, the moment he began to hang up the phone, he sensed that he was definitely connected after all. He felt the presence of the person on the other end of the line, keeping silent.
もしもし。
There was no way they didn't hear his question. What was the meaning of this? It wasn't like he didn't know that people could use silent calls to harass others. However, he'd never received a call like that until today. Maybe he was just lucky before, but he didn't believe that he would receive such a call on this phone. There were no direct calls to or from this line. Everything had to go through an operator. Therefore, there was absolutely no way the call would be connected unless it was verified that there was somebody else on the other end of the line. That's why he didn't understand how to deal with this silent call and instead settled into confusion.
あんた、誰だか知らないが、用がないなら切るよ。また、かけ直してください。
Intending that to be a parting line, he made to slam down the receiver. It was at that moment the person on the other end spoke for the first time.
あなたが名乗ってくれないから困ってんですよ。あんたが犬飼大臣じゃないなら、さっさと電話を切ってください。
He couldn't help but be surprised by the extremely strange voice on the other end of the line. Was there a human alive who could speak with this hoarse metallic voice? No. This was a voice he had heard somewhere before. That was the kind of voice that was used on those lowbrow documentaries that they'd used when they wanted to hide the identity of the speaker, wasn't it? The voice he was hearing over the line was exactly like that.
あんた、誰？
だから、それはこっちが聞いてるんですよ。あんた、犬飼大臣じゃないの？
He, Inugai, hesitated to answer. Unable to discern the intent of this suspicious phone call, he had a vague feeling that something was off. He thought about hanging up the phone and asking the operator who initiated the call. However, he forced himself to restrain that urge, and for the time being, chose to state his name and listen.
そうです。犬飼です。名乗りましたよ。だから、あんたも名乗ってくださいよ。
私の名前なんてどうでもいいんです。まず、あなたがどういう立場に置かれているか、それを認識するところから始めましょう。
Yes, because the person who's using a voice modulator will totally just give you their name. Yeah, it doesn't defeat the purpose of the modulator at all, no.
あなたは今、自分の席で電話をしていますね。では、あなたの席の右側の一番下の引き出しを開けてみてください。
The lowest drawer on the right of the minister's chair. There was a lock on it, not enough to function as a safe, but nevertheless it was a drawer that contained some valuable things. That's why Inugai thought that the person wanted some of the important information contained within that drawer.
すまんが、開けるつもりはないよ。自分の名前も名乗れんやつの言いなりになる言われはない。
引き出しを開けてくれないなら、このきっと後悔することになりますよ。
Okay, I can't.
まずは引き出しを開けてから考えてもいいんじゃないですか。引き出しを開けてくれないなら、この電話を切ります。きっと後悔することになりますよ。まずは引き出しを開けてから考えてもいいんじゃないですか。
The guy didn't like following orders from this suspicious person one bit. However, he was concerned about what the man said about regretting it, so he decided to open the drawer. He took the small key he kept stowed in his wallet and unlocked the drawer. His hand stopped right before he opened it. What if there was a bomb inside, and it would explode if the drawer was opened? That delusion took hold of him. He quelled that instinct and opened it.
開けてくれましたか。そこにあるものが何かわかりますよね。
これはどういうことだ。
I'm guessing this son's name tag?
おい、
どういうことか説明する必要なんかないですよね。時間を差し上げますので、少しお考えください。また後ほどこちらから連絡いたします。それでは失礼。
おい、待て。もしもし、もしもし。
The call had already ended. That would not change no matter how much he yelled at it. Even still, Inugai, without realizing that, continued yelling into the receiver for a while. The drawer was still open. On top of the folders crammed into the drawer, it lay there. Toshiki Inugai, written in plain lettering on a grade schooler's name tag, just lying there. Enshrined there, completely out of place, as if it were cowering. This story is a work of fiction. So that sounds like the end of the prologue, perhaps? Maybe not. So there's some scenes there which we recognise, some which we don't, some characters which we don't. Maybe they appear in this, maybe they're anime. Nope, I'm guessing this is where they appear. Also, there was one scene there which it looked similar to something which we've come across, but not quite the same. Like you remember I think the second one, Shion protecting Keiichi with her arm out, except it didn't look like Keiichi, it looked like someone else with blonde hair instead of brown. Anyway, do you remember, Yuki? This picture? This is where I first proposed to you. That brief moment before you nodded back. You probably wouldn't know just how much it seemed like an eternity to me. Yes. I would have never thought that amount of time could feel like an eternity. Compared to how long I had to wait for you to propose to me, it was... ha 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 ha. From the moment I met you until today, compared to the time I've spent since I was born, it might only be a brief period, but there were definitely precious, beautiful days that deserve to be called an eternity. That time continues even now, from now on. I wonder if it will be a boy, or maybe a girl. Either one is fine. Boy or girl, either way it's living proof that we love each other. If it's a boy, we'll name it after you, Mamoru. If it's a girl, we'll put Yuki for my name and hers. Thinking about names is so fun that in the end we still haven't decided yet. There's still time to puzzle over it. Not that long of a time actually. You see, Yuki, there's something I have to apologize for today. It's about your job. Sorry. It looks like an annoying bit of work has come up. In the worst case, I might not be able to be there for the delivery. In the worst case, whoever's saying this might be dead, is what I'm thinking. It's fine. You have a very important job. What you do protects the way we live. Compared to you, it's nothing. Please, go ahead. When you return, I'll be waiting here with our child. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry. Please don't apologize. If you feel guilty about it, then you can just atone. If I atone that much, no matter how much money I have, it won't be enough. Hehe. It's a joke. Now, go on. As I left the room, I bumped into an elderly man. It was Yuki's father. In other words, my father-in-law.
お父さん、邪魔する気はなかったからな。廊下で待たせてもらったよ。聞き耳を立てるつもりはなかったが、聞こえ、生きたまえ。幸恵はああいう娘だ。何があっても自分が君の枷になることを望むまい。
私はこれまで幸恵に様々な犠牲を強いてきました。出産という人生の節目にまで彼女に犠牲を強いることを恥じます。
君が本当にそう思うなら、仕事が終わったら幸恵のために時間を割きなさい。君が仕事を投げ出して付き添ってくれるよりも、そうした方がきっと幸恵も喜ぶだろう。
ありがとうございます。
君がとても大切な仕事をしていることは私もよく知っている。自分の仕事を誇りに思いなさい。幸恵は君が見事難題を解決して凱旋するのを楽しみにしている。
はい。
I jumped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Compared to the time when I first got here, the numbers on the fare meter had grown considerably. It seemed the modest time Yuki and I had spent together wasn't so modest from an objective point of view.
待たせてすみません。やってください。
いえいえ。では参りますよ。
The taxi jerked as it changed gears to accelerate, soon burying the hospital my wife was in behind a throng of buildings. If it was to end up as a really troublesome ordeal, I probably wouldn't be returning for quite some time. To call a rookie like me, and on top of that, one who's off duty, it seemed that the section chief was calling for all hands on deck. The veteran upper brass gathering on an emergency basis happened occasionally. This was the first time, though, that I'd experienced everybody gathering together like this. Whatever was happening, there was no doubt it was going to be something novel. Right when my wife was ready to give birth. If I wanted to spend the time to curse my misfortunes, I would be here all day. Even the verdant ginkgo trees lining the street that always brightened my mood seemed to lack some of their usual luster. Eventually, the government office came into view. Briefly holding my breath, I let the feelings of tension course through my body once again. I had to remember the work I was doing was important, necessary, and difficult. I composed myself and sharpened my wit. Ready. The taxi stopped in front of the building. Metropolitan Police Department's Public Safety
室長
Division.
全員揃いました。赤坂君、ブラインドを下ろしてくれる？
The blinds were usually closed when they needed to use the projector, or if a discussion was going to contain some particularly disturbing content. The blinds closed with a satisfying sound, darkening the interior of the room. Immediately, the inside of the room was completely drained of the pleasant morning atmosphere, leaving behind only the cold illumination of fluorescent lighting. After the supervisor ensured that everyone was present, he nodded to the section chief once again. With everybody on the edge of their seats, the chief stood up solemnly and began to give his report.
推定48時間前、建設大臣の孫にあたる建設省幹部の子息が誘拐された模様です。建設大臣は事態を穏便に済ませるため、警察へ通報せず要求に応じるものと思われます。
It seemed that approximately 48 hours earlier, the Minister of Construction's grandson and those of his senior staff members were kidnapped. The reason why it was phrased that way was because the person in question didn't admit it had happened.
大臣宅の通話を監視した結果、都外からと思われる不審な電話が数件確認されました。誘拐された子供は病気療養中となっているが、通院の形跡はなく、周辺での目撃例もなく、その他いくつかの理由から、事件発生は間違いないものと断定しました。
Here, they admitted the details that brought this incident to light. If you think about it a bit, that meant before this incident had happened, the minister's residence had been under surveillance already. I won't use the word spied upon. Of course, there wouldn't have been court approval for this, and it would have been very hard to explain to ordinary citizens. However, it was quite an effective method to catch wind of incidents like this before they got worse. I'd like for you to understand that dealing with these cases before they became a problem is the job of the Public Safety Division.
なぜ警察に通報せず要求を鵜呑みに？大臣たる者が警察を信用できないってんだから、世も末だね。
I mean, when the police is Oishi, that's a fair enough point.
犯人グループは誘拐初期に自分たちが大臣の生活をかなり高度に監視していることを警告し、その証拠を示した様子です。大臣が屈服し、警察への通報も思いとどまるほどの何かですね。
警察へ通報してもすぐにわかるぞって？大臣の近辺に内通者がいる可能性か。
Several of the higher-ranking members who seem to have experience with this kind of thing let out deep sighs.
犯人グループの目的が要求にあるのか、事件そのものにあるのかは不明ですが、いずれにせよ、国益を脅かす事態に発展する可能性が極めて高い。
If their goal was simply to have the demands met for monetary gain, that would have been nice. However, this was some politically motivated shake-up. Things would get a lot more complicated. Well, since we know what it is, yes, it's politically motivated, the dam project.
被害者の協力がないということは、脅迫内容も要求も一切不明ということか。
本件は内通者の水準がかなり高いと思われるため、当室のみの極秘捜査とします。また本件は本日より最優先事項となり、これまでの通常業務を一時凍結して対応します。よろしいですね。
After that, the supervisor continued on, tactfully explaining our course of action. If this incident were to become public, it was possible that the minister's political life would be over. I'll spare you the explanations of how the rest of the dominoes would fall, but in the end, support in the Diet would decline, followed by a no-confidence vote and a snap election. It might even expand communist influences. In other words, we wanted to handle this delicately.
川崎と佐伯は大臣宅子供宅の通話を24時間監視。大臣の動向を探れ。動きがあるたびに逐一報告せよ。残る各職員は担当団体ごとに本件との関連を調査。最近動きが不穏な特殊ラインは集中的にやれ。
Yeah, politically motivated, but not on that kind of level.
それから外国勢力も水を漏らすな。
I've experienced one or two unamicable situations before. This, however, was the first time I'd seen things get so hectic. And with that note, I'll end it here for today. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, as always. And until next time, see ya.